Forever United TV on match day, Derby Day, match day. We are live 8 o'clock in the morning. It is early, but we have got plenty to talk about. We're talking leaks from Manchester United, how they've escalated to a point where one Manchester journalist has actually leaked the team, or possible team, for the game today against Manchester City, 16 hours before kickoff. Into that report, there are more stories going around about who is to blame, what player is involved as well. We touched on it a little bit last night, but more detail has come out, and some interesting comments and interesting debates going around the Manchester United fan base as to who this might be, what is happening. There is a team actually there for us to discuss. We're going to discuss that to see if we think if it actually is real. If it does turn out to be the team, then this could actually be a serious matter that is getting more and more concerning for the club. We're going to talk through all the transfer news as well that's going around, of course, as we always do on a Sunday. We pretty much do that every day anyway, don't we? And yes, we are going to be getting into Derby talk a little bit. We have got more shows coming up today. It's going to be around about 12:30. We have the warm-up show looking ahead to what is going to go down at the Etihad today. It is Derby Day. It's Manchester Derby Day, and it is a big one today. And we're kick-starting it off right here on Forever United TV. Get your live comments into the comment section right now, everybody. I want to know your thoughts. I want to know who you think might be the one leaking out this news. We said it last night, but some more people might be involved this morning, so we're going to spread the conversation on and bring that new information that we've had on what's come out. So we're going to go through all of that. But also, we want to be talking Derby Day, don't we? We want to be talking who Manchester United are going to be playing, who is going to be in this side here today. But first of all, like we said, good morning, everybody. Hope you are well. Hope you slept well. Hope you are ready for what is about to happen today. Like I said, it is going to be a big one. But let's get into all of the news first of all. And that would be, obviously, the leaked team news and everything that's come out from this. It's quite concerning for United. I mean, I'm just going to go straight to the source and where it came from. Now, last night we brought up a comment. It wasn't so much a comment, sorry. No, it was regarding Manchester United's team and leaked team news that was coming out from the club. And I'm just going to talk about it again now. I'm just going to bring it up. Sorry, I've just lost it off my page. And yeah, right, I've got it now in front of me. Sorry about that, everyone. It's Sunday morning, let me off a little bit. But yeah, it's rumoured Manchester United and Ruben Amorim already know who's leaking information, and it's not Garnacho. Those responsible are set to leave the club in the new year. The tweet goes on to say, who's your money on? So interesting that they mentioned Garnacho's name, and I did say this last night, like I said, but there was a lot of reports and a lot of comments going around it being Garnacho's brother. Garnacho's brother is 15. Like, seriously, are we going down that road? Can we even be considering a 15-year-old leaking the team news out to everybody? I don't think so. I mean, why would Garnacho want to be leaking team news out? Like, what? He doesn't win from it. It's not going to benefit him. The only way that this would be a serious matter if he's benefiting financially from it. We know he doesn't need the money. His brother, 15. I mean, come on. He's a kid. Can we really be taking that story seriously? And that's what's going on in the comment section. But the actual report came out last night from an account saying that the club actually do know who it is now. And Samuel Luckhurst, last night on Facebook. Funny how he's done it on Facebook and not Twitter. But this is what he said as well. Interesting, a Manchester United 11 versus City has already leaked this evening. I'm going to tell you that team in a minute. It's obviously unconfirmed and will be fascinating to see if it's completely correct. Teams have leaked out of United for years, but the current regularity, brazen manner of it, and apparent public identity of the source make it more of an issue than the days when Mourinho would ask me in press conferences if I already knew the team. That's what Samuel Luckhurst put out last night. And the interesting thing to take from that is how it is now reportedly, apparently, a public identity. So he is saying that, or he's going down the road of trying to out someone, I feel, that is getting information and is known out there, a public identity. This is what the journalists would do, especially someone like Samuel Luckhurst. I'm not saying that this is definitely Samuel Luckhurst and this is just what he's like, but I feel like there is a lot of accounts that are getting some information. There is someone that is leaking it to a lot of people. I mean, just for example, previous employee I used to work for used to get sent team news, early team news all of the time. They were warned off by the club at one point about putting it out. That hasn't been as much or as frequent recently, I have noticed. So maybe you could put two and two together. Maybe that was the source. Maybe that was the person that everybody's talking about now, because it is becoming more public knowledge that someone has been identified as the leak at Manchester United. Now, we know that this has been going on for years. We've talked about it. People have been saying that the journalists have just been fed this information when everything's negative at Manchester United. And again, like coming out on Derby Day, like day before Derby Day, like all eyes are going to be on information, news coming out, anything around both clubs. Everyone's going to be glued into and ready to go. And they just want feeding information right now. So everyone's craving information on Derby Day. And this is when the journalists do come into their own and things start getting put out there just to get people talking. Like I said, interesting how it's on Facebook and not on Twitter. But people have just screenshot that from Facebook and then put it onto Twitter. So that's an interesting one and a different sort of, I don't know, strategy from Samuel Luckhurst there. But no matter which way you look at this is a big problem for United and a big problem for Ruben Amorim. Because we've got someone in right now. Like beforehand, you could joke, couldn't you? Like, Ten Hag, does it really matter if anybody knows his tactics? It's going to be easy enough for us to deal with United's Ten Hag team, that being an opposition talking there. But like Ruben Amorim coming in under Ineos, I think this is the difference this time. And I've used this as an example with everything going forward and how things are going to change at Manchester United with Ineos being there and being the ones backing Ruben Amorim. We talked about it with the players and moving players on and his strategy being the one that is going to work at United because he has got the backing of the board. They have brought him in their first employment, obviously in the head coach role or manager role. But really now with the leaks and things like that, with a full structure in place and still Manchester United information being leaked out to the media, with all of the cutting, with all of the people that have been that have lost their jobs at Manchester United and everything going on there, everything that's happened, and if there is still leaks coming out, then it does start to make you think like, right, well, okay, what is going on? Coaches gone, staff gone. It does make you wonder, and I think this is why people are pointing the finger at certain players with team news and why it's being leaked from them. Because under Ineos, you just wouldn't have expected it. We all thought they're the ones that are going to stop all of these leaks coming out. They're the ones that are going to make it different at Manchester United, and this is going to be a different football club altogether. We're not going to be an embarrassment anymore or talked about in the media the same way. Well, it does look like it's made no difference right now, and there is still someone within Manchester United that is leaking team news and is giving information to the media. Like I said, where I have worked before, they were constantly given team news to a point where certain members of Manchester United's employment were contacting them, telling them to stop doing it. I know that for certain because I was sat in the room and I know what was going on at the time. And I feel like right now, they thought they might have been able to narrow it down to a few people. And I just think the rumour mill has taken over and is now pushing it towards the players because they are the ones that are leaking things out. If they're unhappy, it'll let it build up a little bit. Certain players being dropped again, things like this. I mean, you can look at it loads of different ways, can't you? You can go into so much more detail on how you think it might actually affect something that's going on at the club to benefit them, or maybe they're just shit stirring. Like, I don't know, like you just don't know, do you? Is that how bad it is at Manchester United? Really? Is that how petulant it is? Someone needs to get a grip. Like, I'm happy that the news has come out that whoever it is has been caught and they are going to be relieved of their duties at the football club. I mean, that's right. You've got staff that have been let go at Manchester United that were doing their jobs, that were just surplus to requirements under Ineos. And then you've got people doing their jobs and still trying to earn on the side, because there's no way that they're not going to be doing this for financial gain. There's no way at all. There has to be something in this for someone. Otherwise, what is the point? You're going to lose your job if you get found out. So I would say that there is I think there is financial gain in this somewhere for somebody, and I do believe that was the angle for it. But like I said, I just find it strange. I find it concerning more than anything that news is coming out, even under Ineos, and leaks are coming out regarding teams anyway, because 16 hours before is enough for someone to completely change their tactics to play against you. So, for instance, I'm just meaning like Pep Guardiola sees that team, knows the exact weaknesses, and can tweak his team around it. See, if that was the case, like, obviously he isn't going to take that as gospel. He isn't going to go off something that's written on social media. He's not that stupid, of course, but it's obviously a disadvantage to Ruben Amorim. It sort of undermines his authority within Manchester United. It's like, right, this is my team, this is our plan. The whole bleeding world knows about it before one of the biggest games of the season. It's a joke, it's a farce. And again, it just puts Manchester United back into the circus category of like, what the hell is going on at this football club? Why is so much information being leaked out about what we're actually doing? And it's mind-boggling, honestly, for me, how it happens. I'm really not bothered for news coming out. I'll talk and I'll do shows like we do here, talking about what's being written and reported, as always. But honestly, if someone came to me with information about team news, I wouldn't be sad enough to be scrambling out there just to try and break the news on social media to get a few clicks. I knew that's all it was back in the time as well. And it's like, God, do you really? Is that what it's about? Like, getting a bit of team news out first? Saved, my God, like, honestly, like, not for me, not the way I'm going to conduct business or how I want to work. But look, for them, if they want to think that that's good, that's going to grow their following or whatever, just to be the first out there with the news. Look, I loved reporting what's out there. I love talking about it. I'm not bothered if I'm giving information and it's the first one out there. It doesn't really matter. I think the important thing to look at here is, like, we all want Manchester United to move forward, and I think this is hampering Ruben Amorim moving forward. Honestly, like, what? Come on. It's Man United, for God's sake. This would never happen under Sir Alex Ferguson. Not to this extent, anyway. And I think, like, we can go down nostalgia road again. I know times have changed, but I don't think there's any other club that are like this. I don't think there's anyone else out there that are as open as this, as a football club, and everybody knows what's going on. I mean, it is embarrassing for United. It really is embarrassing. And clearly, I just look at this and go, right, team news-wise, it can only be through some player kicking off that he's not in the team. It has to be. But then again, like, these are the players that need to be sieved out and relieved of their duties. I was thinking last night, when that came out, and I'll just read out again what was said in that original one that broke while we was live last night. And this is what I was thinking last night off the back of this. It's rumoured Manchester United and Ruben Amorim already know who's leaking club information, and it's not Garnacho. Those responsible are set to leave the club in the new year. And last night I was thinking, January transfer window, it's actually a player and we're just going to sell him. That's what I was thinking last night. I was thinking, could it really be? Oh, God. Yeah, so here's another one that's come out, another tweet that I'm just going to read out right now. It says, the ongoing civil war on Manchester United football Twitter is regarding a mole at the club who has been leaking Manchester United team news and lineups to some football fan accounts like United Scoop, the United HQ, etc., etc. Obviously, who is the leak? See, this is now people jumping onto this on Twitter, and this is when it spreads like wildfire. And I'm only saying that this is where it starts and this is what happens because obviously I'm just going to use an example that happened to me as to how big it can get and how quickly it can go. It can just roll out of control. Because obviously I had that incident with Marcus Rashford in the mix zone. A little bit was leaked. A little bit was then pushed out from another account, to a point where I was being contacted by the club directly because of something that had happened within Manchester United's walls, basically. And that's how quickly it will spread. It goes like wildfire when it comes out of Manchester United. As soon as one account gets hold of it, that's it. And everybody knows that that account now is the one that's going to leak the news out. So they all jump onto that. Then they start spreading that from there. And you all know how social media works from there. It's just a spiral and it's completely out of control. And it's not good for Manchester United. It's definitely not good. The most important thing in this is it's not good for Ruben Amorim. I mean, seriously, what has he walked into? He's what, like nearly a month into the job right now, pretty much a month in, and he's looking at leaks coming out of the club, people being sacked from within Manchester United, 4 members of staff that were hired and fired within 4 months. It looks a bit crazy. And you know what? He's probably thinking, and there was a story that came out the other day, he's had 40 minutes training with his full team in the last week. 40 minutes training. He hasn't got time to implement his style of play. He's training the players on the pitch. He's training and working as we go, trying to get these players on board. He's got staff that he thought was there to back him and build a plan around him being sacked already. A changing of all of the structure above him. And he's now hearing that they're inside Manchester United. There is someone leaking club information and leaking team news information. It's off-putting, isn't it? And I just think it just needs to... And the club do need to do everything they can to stop it. And I just feel like that's the most important thing out of this. We need to... the club needs to just out the person, whoever it is. Let's just publicly out him and get it out there so everybody knows. You know what I mean? United's information has been put out there. Now, let's just do the same thing. If you want to go for tit for tat anyway. But still, that team that was leaked by Samuel Luckhurst. I want to talk about that next because I want to move on to everything else. So the team that Samuel Luckhurst leaked that apparently is going to be lining up today against Manchester City is one that raises eyebrows automatically as well. Because it's Onana in goal. You've got Martinez, De Ligt and Maguire in the back three. Mazraoui and Dalot as wing-backs. Agate and Bruno, no Kobe Mainu, in the midfield, with Mount and Ahmad supporting Rasmus Højlund. So 2 10s would be Ahmad and Mount, and then Højlund. Now, someone could guess that and maybe get lucky. You only have to look at what happened at Arsenal, knowing that Ruben Amorim isn't scared to play Maguire in a back three in a big game like that. The understanding, the experience, the pace of Haaland is obviously a concern, but same thing with Arsenal. They had abundance of pace, but we managed it and didn't really have a problem with it. So you could put that together and say, yeah, Martinez, De Ligt, they're always going to play. Maguire, big game again, did it against Arsenal. He's fully rested, wants fresh legs after the week. So yeah, Maguire comes in. Bruno is always going to play. Agate was rested in the week. You know, he's going to play. So you could say that there's 5 easy picks there. Mazraoui is always going to play. Dalot's an interesting one. You could maybe, after that midweek performance against Victoria Pilsen, that he might have missed out and Ahmad might have come back in. But then again, you could also say that Ahmad didn't play at wing-back and probably didn't use as much energy as he normally would. So he can play again for the second game in a row, which is unusual for Amorim. You could put that together and say that that's the right thing to do. Højlund, obviously, off the bench, scoring 2 goals. He's definitely going to play today. And Mason Mount is fresh. And you're going to need legs in that midfield, dropping in and supporting Rasmus Højlund. So really, I could see how anyone would put that team together, and it's not actually big breaking news that this is the league team. Anyone could guess at that and be quite close to it and say, oh, well, it was maybe one player out or something like that. But that, for me, today is not as strong as United can go. Honestly not. But if that was the team, what are we thinking, everybody? I'm coming to the chat now on that one. If that was your team, would you be happy with that? I've got a couple of super chats to get through first of all. And they have come from Del Cano. First super chat, didn't have anything on it, but thank you very much. And from Enjoy Writing. Hard to call a derby, Adam. It really is. Honestly, if you'd have listened to me over the last couple of days talking about the derby and the shows that we've done and video specials, I'm confident that we can get a result, but it's really hard to call where this is going to go today. It really is. I'm going to get into your comments and everything we've been talking about there now. Talk to me about the leaks as well and what you think of that team, more importantly. Over 1,300 in the room, by the way. Thank you so much already for a Sunday morning. That's mega. It's Derby Day. The excitement is building right now. We have over 150 likes as well. So please do get them likes piling up. I'm sure we should be around about the 300 mark for that many people in the room. If you're loving the content, like the video, of course, make sure you have subscribed as well, everybody. You won't miss any news coming out of Manchester United. No, I'm not the mole. I am not the leak or being told what is happening at the club. I'm just talking about it and reporting it. And that's why we're making this show. Plus, it's Derby Day. Everyone's excited. I've got my lucky top on. And today, United are going to do it, aren't they? Yeah. It's not transfer related leaks, so it's not on Ineos per se. It's team news, so it's on recruitment of the existing players. It's time to clear out the entire team, including snakes in the grass. Ooh, from director of football. Pep probably doesn't care what our lineup is. He will play his own game. Yep, of course he will. Like I said, like Pep, you can sort of look at it that way, as to say he's not really going to change what Pep's going to do. This is more on hammering and his authority within Manchester United that's the problem here. Marcus One Touch says, was wondering that I don't understand where this is coming at, but the more I learn about what's actually going on over there, the more I realise I really don't know the half of it. I'm not sure what that is. Sorry, mate. I think that's a conversation between you and someone else. Fair play, Adam. So go to Mass on Sunday. Others worship at the altar of United. That is us. That is us. That is our religion, isn't it? That is what we are all about here on FUTV. Match day is here. It's Derby day. And honestly, right, that team, let's just talk about that for a minute. If it is Harry Maguire at the back, if it is Martinez and De Ligt, are you concerned at all with that? Now, obviously, it'll be one up top for City, and the outlet is obviously Haaland. Similarly for United with Højlund, you could say. So, looking at that, with the three centre-backs that we've got, I just look at the strength of De Ligt and Maguire. They're the ones that will probably be occupied by Haaland, I would say, and the initial build-up, making that challenge. If he's past them, I'm guessing Martinez is the one that's mopping up. Or maybe it's the two wing-backs that are playing very deep in this game, and it's probably going to be, for the majority of it, into a back five. It was against Arsenal, and they couldn't get through. So you've got Mazraoui there doubling up maybe on Haaland and stuff like that. So obviously, we're tracking runners that are coming through the middle from the likes of Silva, Foden, players like this. De Bruyne in time, trying to get it into him. That will be around Bruno and Agate doing that. And then United have got the release. Bruno's energy into Højlund, Mount and Ahmad. They will be your competitive four players. Now, we did have an issue with this in midweek and not getting enough players forward, but that was Victoria Pilsen. They won't, today being City, be pushing, or they won't be as, let's just say, defensive as Pilsen were. So that 3 or 4 up front for United could cause damage. Quick transition through that midfield with Bruno's energy there. If that is the team, that is. It still could be Kobbie Mainoo, we don't know. But that quick transition and City's slow midfield is where United win the game. You need players that are going to be going past City's midfield. You need players that are going to be supporting that front line and then able to get back into position. I don't really feel like Manchester United are going to be overcommitting much today. They're not going to be thinking about swashbuckling, gun-ho type football, just going at Manchester City, toe for toe. It's going to be more of a containment plan like it was against Arsenal, in my opinion. I think that's where United are going to be attacking the game today. And I think it is important that we have got players on form in that front three. So you have got an outlet, and you've got players that are confident in their game, can hold the ball up, can maybe take a player on, have that movement, have that killer finish. Now, Højlund, I was looking at Højlund's stats earlier this morning, and 40 starts and 23 goals with 1 assist for Manchester United. That's decent for starts. That really is good. That's not a bad record for someone who's come under so much scrutiny and criticism at Manchester United at such an early age. You've got him there up front. Happy with that. That's fine for me. I think he's the one at the moment. He's going to finish for you. He's in great form. You've got Ahmad. Do I need to say more? You've got Mount's movements. I like that front three. I really do like that front three. I think the movement there, interchange, dynamism, and everything that brings is going to cause City's makeshift backline a problem. Because obviously we know centre-back wise, what have they got right now? Obviously they're missing Rodri, so there's a defensive element gone. Akanji, Ake and Stones are all out of the game. So they've lost 3 centre-backs pretty much. So they haven't got their best centre-back set up at the football club. Whether it'll be the youngsters coming through again, I don't know. Whether it'll be 3 at the back, Kyle Walker, whichever way that he goes about it. They haven't got Akanji, they haven't got Ake, they haven't got Stones. In Derby's gone past when they've beaten us and beaten us well. They have all been available. with Rodri as well. So 4 key players that have always played a big part in derbies are out of that City side. And I just think a United movement and sharp and quick front three is definitely the way to go forward in this one. So, yeah, 100% happy with that one. Gifted membership, which has gone to Dave147 from James Smith. Thank you, James. Love that. We have nearly 1,400 people in the room on a Sunday morning. I am buzzing with that. Thank you, everybody. Get involved, get in the chat, and come into your comments now. Well over 200 likes as well. We are well on the march to 300 on the live this morning. Thank you, everyone. We did just pass 66,000 subscribers last night while we were sleeping. So thank you, everybody. Make sure that you keep on subscribing as well. Be part of the journey. We are trying to get as close to that 70k before the year ends as possible. So if you haven't already, be part of the journey. Subscribe to Forever United TV. We do this daily. We do it constantly. We're on 2 or 3 shows a day minimum at the moment with all sorts going on. Do stay tuned for after the game as well. Me and Jay will be live. We have got a giveaway for 2 members of FUTV. 2 different prizes, so make sure that you're there for that as well later on, everyone. I'm hoping, and this is what I'm like. I'll go back into history. I'll look back at Manchester United derbies gone by and what I was doing. And I remember sat here last time with Jay talking about a 3-1 defeat to Manchester City. Absolutely flat and dead and no idea where United were going or how this club goes forward. I'm full of optimism for it today. Obviously, because we have got a new coach. He has got a grip of Manchester United's team. And I feel like this is the one derby we're going into where we actually have got a little bit of hope going into the game. Well, we'll see later on anyway. But it's time to come into the chat and see what you're saying. A strong Man United team has always had a great keeper. We don't have that right now, Adam. No, sadly, we don't, Charles. I'm with you on that one. Also, look at that, someone in the chat there. Oh, bless him. They're actually slagging my accent off. Oh, stop butchering the English language. I'm sorry, mate. We're all brought up in different areas. Do one. This is a Manchester channel, mate. Sorry, I'm going to keep on talking the way I'm talking. If you don't like it, sling your hook. I'll get one of the members to do it for you and kick you out, you sado. You make me laugh. Frankly speaking, never heard of any Premier League team leaking team news left, right and centre. Only United has this distinguished privilege. Consider this VIP treatment. United, the gift that keeps on giving, you could say. I agree with that one. Adam, the only rotation not happening is goalkeeper. It's time for Heaton. You with me on that? I'm sure you've been listening to some of my shows regarding Onana, and I actually do still feel that Tom Heaton is a safer pair of hands than Andre Onana in every single way. And that just shows you where we're actually at as a goalkeeper when you prefer your number 3 to the number 1 goalkeeper right now. So, more comments flying in. Everyone is at it this morning. Loving it. By the time any of the youngsters leave United, there will be criticism, leak, pressure, proof. Let's see. If City are injured, why don't we take it to them? Go on the offence. Look, they've still got a quality outfit out there, City. And which way you will look at it and the injuries and Pep building this up into a injury crisis. Look, they've still got plenty of players there that on their day can turn up at any point. And that's what United need to be wary of. Don't just go into this game thinking this is City down and out and this is our best chance. Treat it like every single Manchester derby before. Like City are a better team. They're a better club at the moment and where they're at in their development. Manchester United are just starting. But we can take a big step using the advantage that we have got today, which is that I feel the vibe around our team is better than theirs. There is obvious, clear issues within Manchester City. So, yeah, I think today, cautious optimism and approach, I think, for United. I think within game, United will know. And the players have to be ready for that moment when they realise that there is actually a chance for us to go at Manchester City in this game. Don't give them any encouragement is what I would say. I'll talk more about that in the warm-up show, which is at 12:30 today. So make sure you're there for that one as well, everyone. I wanted to move on into transfer speculation, as we always do, Sunday morning. It wouldn't be right without a bit of transfer news and what's actually going on. A few things around Xavi Simons as well. Manchester United backing and interested in him. That one I feel could be a bit complicated. I've moved away from Xavi Simons. This I think has just been brought up simply because I'm just reading through the papers, looking at bits of transfer news like this, as we always do, like I said. But Xavi Simons, I don't think so. I think that ship has sailed. I think the loan with an option to buy might have worked, but PSG can now sell him instead of loaning him. PSV had that clause where PSG could not sell him on within the first 2 years of his contract. Otherwise, they would have to pay a substantial fee to PSV. So now they can open up and get what they want for him and take full profit from it. So with him being loaned back out constantly by PSG, we know he's not part of the setup there with Luis Enrique at PSG. So I can see him just being sold to someone else, maybe even Manchester City, a player like that, young player, very, very good player. I just feel United right now are going to miss out on that because we need to invest in other areas more importantly, and I think it is going to be a no on that one, I would say. A definite no on that one. I don't see United going for it. I don't see United being back in for Simons in the summer. So that was the first bit that I wanted to bring up. Obviously as well, I don't know if you have seen the Xerxes situation has moved on again a little bit. There are even reports coming out within the tabloids and the media that there is a possible swap on the cards with Juventus for Vlahovic. I mean, Vlahovic could do with his goal prowess against City today, like he did in the week when they beat City 2-0 for Juve. I don't see it again. I can see Xerxes going Juventus in the summer, but again, like this talk is around something happening in January, and I'm not there. I don't see anything happening in January for United. I really don't. I just feel like Xerxes definitely is going to struggle because United will bring in another forward in the summer. It all depends with Xerxes. I think it all depends on whether there is anyone that the club want to move on before they look into his situation. And that's it. I think that's where we're at with Joshua Xerxes right now. I think if Rashford goes, things may change. Obviously, there's still talk that United might sell Garnacho. I don't know about that one. But I just think United have got their eyes elsewhere. I don't think Vlahovic is the right option for United. And again, I'll go back to what I've said continuously, which is I would rather wait till summer to buy a striker than go out desperately and get one in January. The only striker I would even consider coming in January is Victor Osimhen from Galatasaray/Napoli. Napoli don't want to sell to Juventus. They want to do a deal elsewhere. They don't want to strengthen a rival. Obviously, Napoli going for the title again this season, doing quite well. They already have Romelu Lukaku in place, so they will be selling Osimhen, who has only got 1 year left on his contract this summer. If they can cash in on him in January, there is that clause with Galatasaray and that loan deal that if any club comes in with 62 million, Osimhen can leave in January. United don't have that money. I think we can all safely say that, even without getting inside information, as some people do. But United could sell somebody in January and make a move for Osimhen and get him in. That I'm just saying this in the Xerxes situation. The only way I see Xerxes leaving is if Manchester United don't get rid of other players. I think he will be made unfairly, by the way, because I don't think he deserves to go just yet in terms of how it normally works. A player who hasn't really been given a chance. We can talk about the qualities. We can talk about what he's not good at and things like that, but still, I think if you look at every other player and how much of an opportunity they've been given, I don't think Joshua Xerxes has been given that chance by Manchester United. It is slightly unfair, but needs must, and the way that Ineos are going about it at the moment, I just feel the environment isn't going to work the same way as it always did at United. I would definitely look at Osimhen as a possibility for United. I think it's a good signing. I think it's an amazing signing to get in January. Obviously, we wouldn't be able to use him in the Europa League. He's cup tied, having played for Galatasaray. So, again, I can see flaws in the transfer a little bit, but the main positives out of it are that he is absolutely tip-top. He is a brilliant striker. And United could steal a match in getting business done in January ahead of the clamour for this man's signature, which there will be in the summer. I got that, but my top striker is still Gyökeres. At the moment, my top three in terms of United strikers would be, let's say, Gyökeres is number one, definitely. Then we've got Victor Osimhen at number two. And then I'm probably looking at Mamouche from the Egyptian striker who's currently playing at, was it Frankfurt? I think it was Frankfurt. I'm pretty certain it was Frankfurt, I think it is. I always get mixed up with the German team. Sorry if I've got that wrong. But yeah, Mamouche, number 3, Osimhen 2, Victor Gyökeres, number 1. If we're going to go and spend the majority of our money this summer on a striker, that would be my top 3. Obviously, get your top 3s in there as well. Omar Mamouche is outstanding, Daryl. He's absolutely blowing it up in Germany at the moment. That guy, by the way, lightning quick. He is not going to be he's not going to be playing in the Bundesliga next season unless Bayern Munich sign him to replace maybe Harry Kane. But I still think Harry Kane's got a couple more years and they're not going to dislodge him. So really, Manchester United and other Premier League clubs will be all over. Like I said this before, this summer transfer window is going to be mental. There are so many players available, so many out there to choose from and available at decent money as well. Affordable money, no stupid 80 million plus signings that are out there right now. I think reasonably priced players of good quality, all within their sort of negotiation period for their contracts, 1 to 2 years left on deals. A lot of moving and shaking will be going on in the transfer window this summer. It's going to be one of the most exciting ones in years, I feel. We have over 300 live likes. That is mega. Thank you, everybody. For the Sunday morning show, we're absolutely buzzing with that. Thank you. Make sure you have subscribed as well if you haven't already. That way you can get into the chat. Let's get into some of your comments. Now, Director of Football, Osimhen would suit United, but personally, I don't want any papering over the crack until summer. I get that. The clear out is needed, and this summer would be ideal. 10 senior players out minimum. Brian Simpson, just rumours, leave the kids alone. Someone just talking to another person there again. Osimhen, he's overrated. Stay clear of him. He's not clinical. Kind of scoring record disagrees with you on that one, the wrap-up Haven. Especially this season again. Like, he was smashing it in Italy. He's destroying it in Turkey. Yes, they're not the Premier League. Yes, we have had that big up player come from them other leagues before and then fail in the Premier League. I get it. But he's definitely not overrated. He's 100% a quality player. United Spotlight would have Delap as number 3. Look, Ipswich did themselves a power of good in beating Wolves yesterday. If they get relegated, I think Delap will leave. That's the only way Delap goes from Ipswich, I feel. If they stay up, Ipswich that is, then Delap will stay. Liam Delap, if Ipswich get relegated, I think will be sold on. 100% see that happening. I think another club will come in for him. And Ipswich will find it probably impossible to keep hold of him. Well, I'm not saying they won't. He's still young and he may want to just come straight back up. Parachute payments and advantages of teams going down. We can clearly see that already with what's happening in the Championship right now, with both Sheffield United and Burnley looking like they're going to be bouncing straight back up, or have got a good chance alongside Leeds anyway. So really, it's kind of like you would talk to a player like Delap and say, just stay with us. Stay with us for another season. We don't come straight back up, then we'll sell you on. I think Ipswich, with the team that they've got, I think would definitely be one of the bounce back up teams again. Again, like Burnley and Sheffield United last season were atrocious, and they're absolutely destroying the Championship this season. Even after losing a couple of players each, big players that is as well, they're still miles ahead of everyone else. And that system is kind of flawed a little bit. With parachutes, it's unfair on other clubs, but that's the reality of it. Ipswich would probably look at it that way, but Delap is definitely an option. 100% is. Xerxes can dribble and pass, shoot. He can do everything. Let him adjust. He has done it in Italy. It's whether or not he's quick enough to do it in England. That's the thing. But I would like to see him given a chance. I do. I would like to see him given a chance. Jeffrey says, I like Delap to big and powerful with a good touch. He does, Jeffrey. We have a super chat in from Ravel Burns. Osimhen, 5 big chances missed versus Spurs. Stay away. No, disagree with it again. Thanks for the super chat. We could all say that strikers miss chances. Haaland has missed a ton of chances this season for City in crucial games. We want to look back at that Juventus game. I mean, seriously, are we going to say that we wouldn't take Haaland? No, we're not. I think people just need to look at what he does, what danger he brings, how he actually gets into getting these chances as well. I just think he works better than what we've got right now. And working alongside Rasmus, I think he would be a good option. I would still go for him, I really would. I get it, Osimhen is long-legged and gangler. He's not sexy to look at. He's a top finisher. For what we need, I would say he would get us 15 to 20 a season in Amorim's system. He'd get more than that. I think Osimhen would get 30 in an Amorim system that's working well. I think that's what he would be looking at. I think he is that. I think right now, 15 to 20 is your Rasmus Højlund. And you look at what he's on now, I think obviously 16 in his first season. If he gets anything between 16 and 20 this season, then you're looking at a real decent investment from United there. And one that you could say the Murtos and Ten Hags of the world actually did get right. You cannot argue with his numbers right now. Yes, the price might have been a bit high, but if you bought a player for 65 million and you said first season at 20, he's going to get you 16 goals. The next season, he's going to get you 20 plus. You're saying, I'll take that. You would have expected the rest of the team at the time to start chipping in, but everybody else was failing, and which is why we were so crap last season and finished where we did. But still, to have 7 goals this season already, if he gets a good run of games now under Amorim, and let's not forget, it's 5 in 4 starts for Amorim, for Rasmus Højlund, so he is doing well under this system as well. So I'm happy with that. But I think another striker, if you're going to bring in another striker above Rasmus Højlund, you need to be betting getting someone that's in the 30-goal category type of striker. Minimum 25, because we've already got the 16 to 20 goal scorer in Rasmus Højlund. Another one, I think you're looking at 30 goals, and that takes you to another level then. That takes you to push into guaranteed top 4 level, because you will have goals chipped in from the likes of Ahmad, Garnacho, Bruno, Mount. All of them types of players, I think, will give you enough goals to be consistently in the top 4. But look, that pretty much wraps up our morning show. We have a lot more to talk about, and there's a lot more detail to go into later on at 12:30. 12:30, we are back for the warm-up special Derby warm-up show. Make sure that you are there for that one. Just want to say a massive thank you. We have 2 new members on the show. We have nearly 400 live likes. Please do hit that subscribe button. We just hit 66k. We are smashing it right now. Thank you so much, everybody. Make sure that you have subscribed to Forever United TV. You're tuned in for the warm-up show, 12:30. Be there, everyone. I'm looking forward to it. The Derby vibe is sneaking in. I can feel it. I can feel it. Come on. Anyway, that is then. For now, we are finished. Thank you so much, everybody. I will see you all later on. Have a fantastic Derby morning. Here we go. I'll see you in a bit, everyone. Like and subscribe. See you later.